What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is Big Games B.S. brought to you by Den Media Group, presented by Alpha Male Jacks. AlphaMaleJacks.com is the go-to website and clinic here in the city of Jacksonville for all your male health needs. You want to lose some weight, want to feel like the best you, want to feel like a version of you that you lost. Go check them out. It all starts with something simple. You got to know what's going on the inside to be able to affect what's going on outside. They do the blood panels, and in that blood panel, they check your hormone levels, they check your cholesterol, blood sugar, different things that are going on in you, different indicators. They'll give you a reading to be able to let you know, hey, this is what's going on inside of your body. This is how we're going to help you become the best you available. Doesn't really necessarily matter if you maybe have some estrogen issues going on. I think a lot of the way a lot of you men are operating right now, you're dealing with higher levels of estrogen than what we're used to. You're acting very bitch made. So we need to get that checked. You may have a good enough amount of testosterone. You just might just have a little hole in you. So we need to get that up out you, and vice versa. You may have low T. You may be suffering from that. So they have testosterone replacement therapy that they can give you. But bigger than that, they have semaglutide. They have all these kind of other different things that will help you lose weight and become the best you. They bring you our show each and every time that we do it. On top of that, we have some things where, if you need to be able to, you don't feel like you're wearing your hoochie daddy shorts. And shout out to my girl, Aaron. Doc made a comment on Threads the other day that, hoochie daddy shorts ain't for everybody. And I'm with you. I think I agree with her. If you've never done squats, you probably shouldn't be wearing those. Like if you only upper body, wear sweats, cover the legs. But it's also, just like what people say, like, because right now when Hoochie Daddy season ends, we go right into one of my favorite seasons because it's another comfortable garment, gray sweatpants. October 1st is gray sweatpants season. Even in Florida gray track, you got to wear the track pants in Florida. And then you progress to get to the sweatpants, but it gets a little cooler after October 1st here and around the world. But ladies, apparently, gray sweatpants is to them what sundresses are to men. Get your mind out of the gutter, sisters. But whatever, if you're a guy and you feel like just like a flat booty woman in a sundress, if you feel inadequate, and that's why they're getting these BBLs. But if you feel inadequate as a man wearing your gray sweatpants, we have an app for that. We can help you wear your sweatpants with the confidence. Andro Mangus is the website to go to. We'll come see you in the privacy. Don't say you want that in the comments because then people gonna know. But then again, it's YouTube. One thing about the YouTube stuff is like y'all can leave these comments. And YouTube is still the last bastion for terribleness in society. But I say this for 10K, and we have basically a layaway plan too. We can help you gain an inch or two if you need to. The old Jimbo Fisher philosophy: find those inches. Shout out to everybody who's been participating in the book bag drive so far. We are about 40% to the total of raised funds, so we do have enough bags to be able to service Orlando. So Orlando is next Saturday. We're still going to be raising money for it. If you want a book bag or you want to volunteer, go to jamescolemangivesback.com. jamescolemangivesback.com. That's the website to go to find all of the shit. Like, you about to type that in, Miles. Like, so, you need a backpack. You got to register because then people going to be after me, and I got to make sure we give away every one of these book bags. But we have, if you want to volunteer, your kid needs volunteer hours, or you need volunteer hours for your service organization, go make sure you log in and register so that we can go back and send you a nice little email saying that you were here and doing whatever. But if you go scroll down through that, Miles, I just want to make it look real simple for people. So you scroll down, so boom, you see the flyer of the area that you're in. That's Orlando. To the right of the flyer, it says Orlando, Florida. And then there's a register for book bag. And then there's a register for whatever. Register to volunteer. You got to fill that out. Check it out. Hopefully, I think we're giving away 500 to 700 bags in Orlando. That's what the press release said. I don't really know. Tallahassee and Jacksonville, we're definitely going to try to give over, well over what we have been doing in the past. Food distribution as well. No football camp in Orlando this year. Potentially, we'll do it next year. We'll see. But please, if you want to register for all of the different things, they're all available. If you want to donate a bag, it's $36 a bag. You can go MFT money sign MFTK36 on Cash App, MFTK Foundation at Venmo, MFTK Foundation at gmail.com if you want to use PayPal. We're still actively reaching out for that. But I do want to say this. I'm not 1,000% sure what he's giving. I'm just basing it upon what he did last year. Mike Norvell last year gave us, I think it was $4,500. He donated a book bag for every player on the team. And it was dope. Mike jumped in my DMs, not for a recruit, but he did jump in my DMs saying, hey, the Keep Climbing Foundation wants to donate to your drive again. And I'm very grateful for Coach Norvell and what he's doing with that. So if you're a football coach at a college and you want to be able to get some free publicity, we are for my book bag drive. We are a money horse. So I will go and talk good about you unless you're Miami or Florida. Because Miami, y'all still owe me from last year. So fuck y'all. I can't say who you owe me for because I don't want to get that kid in trouble. But at the end of the day, fuck y'all and everything you stand for. But again, I'm still actively trying to raise money for that. What else we got? Book bag. We got the book bag drive. If you like the book bag drives and where a lot of the seed money comes from in the beginning, is the tailgates. So we have a big tailgate coming Labor Day. This one's a lot easier. I can just tell you where we're at, and I'm gonna have Chris start giving making not apps. What do you call that shit? Memes for where we're at or graphics. We're about 15% to the total goal of how many people we want to be at this tailgate. Meaning a thousand people is the goal. We've sold 150 tickets so far. It's going, and there's more and more people coming in. We got some Seminole clubs buying in bulk. Don't know why you want to compete with us while we out here on buying up Church Street and having indoor shit. So it's gonna be a party. It's gonna be a vibe. We're gonna have the official black party or block party, excuse me, but it's gonna be a block party by black people. At our tailgate site off Church and Norton. That's free. You come in, you just got to pay for your own liquor, got to pay for all of the other shit that comes associated with it. But it's going to be a good time. I believe the band That's Pressure is going to be performing. That's what I hope is going to be performing. But we're going to have a live band, live DJs. It's going to be geeked. You know how we're going to do it. We're going to bring the party to Orlando. And we want if you're an LSU fan, I want you guys to be able to come, check it out, do your damn thug dizzle, all of those different things like that. So it's going to be fun. We'll have game trucks at the tailgate. We'll have vendors. We'll have all kinds of different shit that you guys will want. You're definitely going to want to be a part of this and participate in it. Hell yeah, and that's where we get the white boys. You got to if you don't, again, I can't speak for other tailgates or against other tailgates. I believe those tailgates are going to have good food as well. All I can tell you is that my tailgate is going to have the best food. It's going to have the best liquor. It's going to have the best of everything.
It's decent price. The game itself.
Right. I'm gonna tell you, you want free game right here. This is me being dead. This is me being dead to fuck serious, Matt. One, it's only a couple ways to make this game cheap. We need to get me to 3,000 subs. So I'm giving away 2 tickets once we get to 3,000 subs. Or we get to 5,000 subs, I'll give away 2 sets of tickets. If we somehow miraculously get me to 7,000 subs or something, get me 10,000 subs, I will give away 10 sets of tickets. I have tickets. Unfortunately, right now, I think they're spoken for unless I get these subs. But The best seat in the house is the tailgate. And here's what I mean by that. If you came to the game in December, we had TVs at the tailgate. We watched the game at the tailgate. This time we'll have those same setups, but we'll also have an indoor setup. So you can literally be at the game, but not in the game, and watch it from less than a football field away. Like that's the best thing I can tell because right now it's a combination of being a smaller stadium and both teams being top 10 that's going to make this ridiculous. FSU fans, I feel bad, but it's also capitalism. It's what happens. We're gonna yeah, like I was actually just talking to Kaylin Deloach's dad, Rob. We were talking about doing a Friday night white party before one of the games. And what I was telling him is you got to pick the right game. But I said, but the reality is when Florida State's good, excuse me, when Florida State's bad, the hotels are so expensive. It's so hard to get to Tallahassee. But when Florida State's good, Tallahassee is the easiest fucking city in the world to get to. Why are all these people calling me right now at this hold on 1 second. Hello? No, they're there. My son's there. Did you knock on the door? Or you just rent? Yeah, knock on the door. There's somebody there. All right. All right. Trey knocked out, man. What good is that? I swear to God, I got a fucking 10-year-old teenager, man. Like, and I don't know how to get in contact. Anyways, all right, whatever. My bad. Sorry about that, guys. Life happens. People keep calling my phone. I had to answer. Anyways, tailgate ticket like all the game. The Miami game is going to they're going to sell those tickets for $200-300 a pop. And if we make it to the college football playoff and you're just a normal person, but be like these white boys, just go experience it. It was cheaper to get into the Superdome, but it was big. The Superdome is bigger than the Citrus Bowl. But these kids enjoy life. Eat this beautiful made and lovingly made barbecue and food. Watch the game, drink, and this is probably what's going to happen. You're going to get an experience because you're going to see a lot of FSU legends that you would not normally see. We're gonna have an autograph signing for those fans who buy tailgate tickets. They'll take pictures, and a lot of them ain't even getting into the game. I'll tell you how I know. The bowl game was cheaper, and them bitches watched it at the goddamn tailgate. And it's better because they're going to break down the game in a way that you've never heard before. So you'll be able to go talk to friends with some football knowledge that's different than fat fucks who've never played the game that you guys subscribe to. If you ain't subscribing to the fifth quarter like that, I know y'all not listening to my show like that. So here's the chance. Like again, I think it takes Chris with Sporadics to tell you to hear my guy. Damn it. Let me forget again. So people think when we talked about Red, somebody was like, "It's Red." That's tell you the story about this recruit we just had commit.
Yeah.
Shit. I will. I'm gonna send you the actual link and a text message, Miles. We'll put that in the chat. We'll put it on the banner. If you come back to the video, it will be in the description. But one of the guys, somebody asked, is red a racist term? Yeah. Okay. So we didn't talk about it on the show. We talked about it on Sporadics. Michael Langston, really good reporter for War Chant. Michael Langston's so old he covered me. And he was covering high school sports for a while before that, but now he's in it. We had a kid, Radarius Morgan or whatever. Still didn't answer. All right, all right. Well, I don't like. I no. I mean, I'm at work right now. I'm in the, give me Actually, that window right next, like that window. Can you bang on that window? That's right there. There's somebody in that room right there. Yeah, the window right by the door with the shovel. All right, thank you, bro. Damn, what was I about to say? Fucked up my whole train of thought, man. Yeah. So, anyways, the kid's names were Darius Morgan. Everybody calls him Red. You want to take a wild guess what Red looks like? Very light skin, extreme light skin. And so these pilgrims, if you will, had a discussion with why do they call him Red? And I'm sitting in my head, man, you've been covering coloreds for 30 years. For 30 years, and you ain't never heard nobody call somebody Red. And then in the comments, white people who guess they don't know, because I think sometimes people don't, they hear stuff is racist and people have a fear for no reason. And I'm like, dog, we have like black people have terms, descriptors. Like I call, like again, this is why people didn't understand why I call Coach Norvell White Mike. White Mike is probably one of the best. If somebody's not called, if they're just saying your name in the black community, that means either you're the only one or you're somebody there can forget. See, Mike is a common name. We have to call you White Mike so that people know which Mike we're talking about, as opposed to Black. Black Mike is Mike.
Yeah.
I think I've told people this before. There's Mike, then there's Mike, White Mike, Asian Mike. Like it's gonna be a cross-eyed Mike. Like it's gonna be some kind of thing, and there's nothing nefarious to it. It's just that's what the fuck you are. But Red is a common, like if you've been going around black people, like matter of fact, Red looked just like the Red on our team at Mandarin, who's gonna be a D1 guy. And Red is Red. You look at Red, the bitchy Red. And I was just sitting here like, damn, you've been covering black people for this long and you ain't never heard nobody call Red. Maybe it's because he's Irish. If you watch great movies, you'll understand where that phrase comes from. Hold on. Now I'm getting mad. But anyways, long story short, come hang out with. I got to know all that because I have a teammate's name is Black. Can you guess why we call Black Black? Black is Black, but Black broke down stuff. I broke down stuff. It was good. But you'll see other guys and all kinds of other stuff going. And just check it out. That's all I can tell you. That's the only advice. Other than that, again, give me the 3,000 followers and 3,000 subs, and you ain't got nothing not got nothing to worry about. You may be able to win that ticket unless Raymond is watching the show. If Raymond's watching the show, I'm just telling you guys he's probably gonna win. And it's not because I picked it. It's just he win. How many things is Raymond? Raymond won. Didn't he win he didn't win the $200 when we got the 2,000. He won the likes, right?
Yeah.
So I think he got like $30 or something. He won a jersey at the tailgate, and we will be doing giveaways at the tailgate. He won a jersey at the tailgate. He also won tickets to the Jags playoff game, right? Yeah. He got. I think it was the Jags. So like Raymond just wins everything, but that's the beauty of following this show, which is why I don't understand why y'all go check it. Like I ain't got no beef with the roll up, ain't got no beef with all them other people, but none of the motherfuckers give you shit. I give y'all shit, and don't nobody want to come hang out with Big Game and all the other stuff. But cool, whatever. All I know is this: the tailgate. We're gonna have a really big giveaway, a couple big giveaways, and we're gonna have a lot of other stuff. We'll have signed memorabilia. We'll have all kinds of other shit that you can be able to purchase, get. But this go around, I'm going to probably have for some of the stuff just an automatic purchase. You ain't even if you want to just purchase the shit, you can just go ahead and take it off our hands for X amount of dollars. Because again, all this stuff goes to charity. Got a sneaker deal hopefully on the way. They're having an event this Sunday that I would like you guys to go check out. Travis Etienne will be the main draw there. You can come there, purchase tickets. Here's the thing right here, the flyer. You can go check out, come hang out with some other Jag players. Should be a cool little event. I told the guy I don't play. We just I just sent him some people were asking me about some shoes. I sent the guy I sent the guy the information. I said, "Hey, you got this shoe for me. What size?" And to be honest with you, the price was so damn good. I thought about taxing my boy. Like I thought about saying like, "Nah, it's a little bit more than what he said." But and I just sent you the ticket, Taylor, for the tailgate. I thought about also with the tailgate, if you can purchase parking through us, but you have to have a tailgate ticket. You must have a tailgate ticket to have parking. But anyway, so we got the new guy. Go check them out. That's how you can sponsor the show. I don't need your money. I would love for you to be a member, especially All In. Shout out to my All In members who are going to be getting into all the shit for free. And I'm gonna give you parking. But if you just let the sponsors support the sponsors, they'll take care of everything else. So smoke cigars, drink liquor, buy guns, get your dick bigger, and like again, what male should hate this show? Like literally all the most masculine. I did not realize that. This might be the most misogynist, non-misogynist show on the internet. It's awesome. Getting into the thick of it. If you haven't been around, it's been a lot of action going on in Big Three, Twitter. So UF had a really really good run in the month of June in terms of recruiting. Florida State is right now having a great run, and then Miami finally got on board. Here's what, but UF has been getting some kids committed. UF has a kid that committed. And can we see if the sound works on this one? Make sure we get it. Yeah, that's the guy who's talking about it. And they have now waged a war with On3. A kid is like committed. I think he's like a 4-star or something like that. And um all the 3 has him rated as a 3-star. And his height is off. And Florida fans are now waging a cry off, if you will, with On3 and other people. Here's the guy from On3 breaking down what happened, why he did this, the way he did them, and hopefully our audio will be working. And if it's not, I'm sure you guys will tell us.
right now for On3, but they're both top 100 on 24/7. A couple things specifically. Both Amaris Williams and Jamonta Waller are unranked right now for On3, but they're both top 100 on 24/7. UF fans obviously not thrilled with that. Can you speak to both of those?
Yeah, so I would say first off, our rankings on those guys are essentially unchanged months in advance of them committing to UF.
Mhm.
So like Jamonta Waller debuted as an 88 for On3. He moved up to 89. That was in April. He stayed at 89. I've seen Jamonta Waller in person. I think first off, starting off, he's a great player. He's a outstanding high school football player. He has a lot of plays. He is. I have all of his verified athletic measurables. He's 6'1.5", 240 pounds. He ran I saw him in person, ran a 4.95 40 at Under Armour's Atlanta. Have all of his like arm length, all of that. So while he's a great player, and I think he could be a multi-year starter, really good player at Florida. he is a little bit of a tweener physically, and I think we have him ranked as a linebacker. He mainly plays like defensive end for his high school. So you're talking about a 6'1.5", 240-pound defensive end who runs a 4.95. So that's like kind of objectively how we look at it. Is there a scenario where Jamonte Waller could be a 4-star? Absolutely. But relative to him being a 5-star on other networks or top 100, we simply just don't see that when you look at his measurables and how he projects positionally. Amaris Williams, very similar. He is another great high school player, extremely disruptive. He's under 6'2", 260 pounds. A little bit of a tweener, a guy who I think also could be a 4-star, but I think both those guys are probably closer to where we have them ranked, even if we're a little lower than they should be relative to them being, top 50, top 75 type prospects. So, and then I think too, we have, like I said, we have cycles at Florida, where I think we were probably 100, 200 spots higher on Eugene Wilson last year than everyone. So I think it is certainly not something that is driven by the school they're committed to. It's just we stick with our evaluations, and just simply a guy being higher on another network is not gonna necessarily make us move them up. It's based on how we project them as NFL draft picks. I think that's the most important thing to hammer home.
We can stop that. Basically, he said, "I stand on what the fuck I said." We base guys based on we're NFL draft picks, and really the tweener part is. But here's the thing about recruiting, and I said this on Sporadics yesterday. One, before I get into it, shout out to my man Brian McClain. He gifted 5 memberships. He got Rob, old ass young boys. Rob got that old ass name. But I remember, I'm just fucking with Rob because I know he was an original. He used to be a intern. But shout out to him getting gifted a membership. Shout out to Devontae B for getting the membership. All cool. Anybody, hopefully we get some new people on there and just fucking make them a member off the strength and force them to be around more. But I was going through my recruiting class, and I named names. I'm gonna go back and look at them again, because 247 didn't exist when I played. It was just Rivals and ESPN. I was a no star. So just gonna go ahead and put that out there. A lot of these guys didn't even make it. Warchant during the COVID wrote an article about it. I didn't realize they said we had 6 5-stars. Lorenzo Booker, everybody knows Book more so now. Everybody knows Pat. Yeah, damn, Pat was that motherfucker. Chris Davis was a 5-star, and a lot of you guys probably don't really remember the plays that Chris Davis made. This isn't me knocking. This is just the reality. But Chris was really good, especially in high school. We know who Leon Washington was. Damn, that motherfucker. I didn't realize Chauncey was a 5-star. A lot of you guys probably don't know who Chauncey Stovall was. He was he ended up going to Hines Community College, but he was I didn't realize he was a 5-star wide receiver. Deshaun Platt. Anybody know who Deshaun Platt is? I've never met him before, but he was in my recruiting class. 5-star. Trying to go through Thomas Clayton. Any FSU fans know who Thomas Clayton is? I know who Hollywood is. I'm pretty sure most of you don't know who Hollywood is. A lot of y'all probably don't know who this guy is, but you know his brother because you hate him, and that's Lawrence Sam. But Lawrence Sam never made a play at Florida State. And it was more to they cut this thing short. You got Nate Hardage. Anybody know who Nate Hardage is? Nate was one of the best linebackers to come out of community college that year. I guess my point in all of this is, why are y'all making such a big fuss about rankings and all these other people when the reality is you're not going to know who half these motherfuckers are in 10 years? Will a lot of you guys know, and this is no knock on these kids either. I think they're good. I just think sometimes it doesn't work out. Systems, coaching changes, and a lot of other stuff. Life happens. Brendan Gant, Akeem Dent, Brendan Gant, Travis J, and another person were the top guys in their class, the top signings we had in our class, and you probably won't remember any of those guys. It's just the way things work, and it's just the way stuff happens. If you get 10 guys to pan out in your recruiting class, it's fine. But to cry about it is not fine. That's very weird. Peter Shields that said Chris Davis, Cuzzo, that Chris was that dude, and I don't know why it didn't work for. Actually, I just think our system, like in today's system, Chris Davis becomes great. But right now, what a lot of y'all sound like, Miles, if you can play that video right there, that's the perfect thing. It's like you're having a 24-hour fucking cry off. But
thank you guys for supporting staff.
To go into this before we go into the next thing, JWP Sports is doing a great thing, and it's a thing with the last time the team won their conference championship. When they did the SEC, what it proves is that the SEC just has a bunch of mid in Bama, LSU, and Georgia. Florida has not won the SEC since Urban Meyer was lying. 2008. It was a long time ago. I was 3 years removed from college. Like, Trey wasn't even a thought at that point in my life. A lot of things have happened since then. A lot of ass whoopings, a lot of 4-8 seasons, a lot of you lost to Georgia Southern. It's a lot of things have happened. But the crazy part is when they do the ACC, it's even wilder. And what's notable is the teams that have not won an ACC championship. So Boston College has never won an ACC championship. But when you think about it, Boston College has never really been. They've been okay. They had Matty Ice. They've never been like overall like great, right?
Well, they got Flutie, even when I was
Syracuse was in the Big East for a while. You know, they haven't been good since they came over. Louisville. Louisville more for basketball. Louisville's kind of been on the come up over the last 20 years. They've been reasserting themselves. But it's a team on here that if you listen to their fan base, you would think that they've at least won 10 of these motherfuckers. When they came over, they said the name of the conference. ACC is it call it an acronym? Is that what it is? What is it when you it stands for something, basically. ACC stood for All Canes Conference. That's what they said. They were going to run the conference. Miami has been in the ACC since 2004. This will be their 19th season in the ACC. Coming up on their 20th year anniversary. Congratulations. You and Virginia Tech came over at the same time. Virginia Tech won one in 2010. I think they won. Yeah, they won one in 2010. Miami has won absolutely no ACC championships. The closest they ever got was the last 10-win season they had. They played Clemson. Got their ass demolished. So much so that they kicked a field goal with only seconds left in the game so that they didn't have a goose egg, which I think I would rather have the fucking goose egg than to do some stupid shit like some I don't know if I can say it, but they some very consonant type shit, if you will. I can't say that. That's right, because there's alphabets in it now. I keep forgetting the I and the A. So, but anyways, though. But on that note, every year the U is back. Every year the U is back, and they do a fucking phenomenal job selling the city, man. Put on for the city. Put on for the city. We're gonna get people from outside the city to come. It's one of the craziest recruiting strategies I've ever seen. They'll tell people have pride in Miami for all the cats who are from down south, Fort Lauderdale South. But at the same time, selling cats from Tallahassee, selling cats from California, telling, oh man, no, y'all come too. But we're gonna be Miami. And all the bravado, the braggadocious, all the stuff, like, it's really Miami. They sell it. It is the best. If they played football in the manner in which they sell the University of Miami, they would be the greatest. Like they should never lose. They're in a hotbed for recruiting. The problem is all that bravado and all that cockiness is cool until you get punched in the mouth. But they sold a kid, hook, line, and sinker. And congratulations to the kid. I'm not a hater. I am a lot of things. A hater is not one of them. They got this kid, JoJo Trader, and I just knew JoJo Trader was fucking coming to Florida State. And there have been, because it was similar to another recruitment. I understand some things happen. Got some behind the scenes stuff. That's not him. It's the graphic. But I will say this recruiting cycle is going to be wild. This one right here, yeah. But they got JoJo Trader. They got a 5-star, and they still don't have. They just got one of the best players in the nation, and they're still behind Stanford in recruiting because Miami has a bunch of 3-stars. They're 3-star unit. Now, how did they get this kid? Offered him some good money. They also recruited all of his sorry ass friends. Like, so it's like, let me rephrase it. I'm sorry. Maybe they're not sorry. They're just people that we weren't interested in. But they this kid committed knowing that I'm going to see this team get their asses whooped. Committed knowingly, knowing that they're going to get their asses whooped. What did my man just ask? Like, bro, you got to. Oh, I can't answer that. I'll answer that question if you go onto the YouTube link and you ask that question on the YouTube comments. Can't answer stuff on Facebook. Facebook don't pay no bills around here. YouTube does. No offense to you, love you, but we just need them. We need them YouTube things up. But JoJo Trader, 6'1", 180-pound wide receiver from Miami, Florida, chose the Hurricanes over Florida State, Florida, and Ohio State. Says I'm home. JoJo's a really good person. I heard he's actually probably a better DB than he is a wide receiver, and that's not a knock. It just means he's really, really athletic. And congratulations. Can't wait till we beat the absolute living fuck out of y'all. Yeah. I think he's actually listed as an athlete on 247. Actually, a lot of guys are recruited as athletes, but Florida State fans don't fret. We got a big time commit again with the rankings. Is wild because this is the wildest shit. He's a 5-star. Well, he was a 5-star on 1-3. Then all of a sudden they moved him to 4-star. But we're not gonna bitch like Florida fans. But at one point he was a 5-star, a 4-star on one service, and a 3-star on another service. That is the wildest range of ranking that I've ever seen. Either way, I like to pick up. We got a kid, Jonathan Daniels. Little sassy. But what better person? Let's be for real. All weird stuff aside, what better person do you want protecting your blind side than your backside than somebody with a little sass in them? Who gonna watch out for your back better than that? And I'm only just saying, he says he paints his nails. I don't know this new trend. In my day, men didn't paint their nails. But hey, in other people, actually people lying. I've also heard men my age say, well, in my day, we didn't wear them little short shorts. Bull fucking shit. I came up when gangster rap came up. And you know what Dr. Dre was wearing when he was in was doing his music? Little tight ass spandex pants. So get the fuck out of here. We all have the YMCA rec league shorts that were up to our nuts. Like we all have that picture. But the other thing too is what you always have to do is with Mike Norvell and them, what I do like is when something bad happens, they have a plan. So if you go look at that other thing that you have with the kid that's really fucking good with the red shirt on, like all of a sudden, nation's number one wide receiver, committed to Ohio State, Jeremiah Smith is coming to Tallahassee.
So he committed, and that's
It's scheduled. Yeah, keyword multi-day visit. That motherfucker coming. Not saying coming to Florida State, just saying we shoot at bad bitches. I'm going to also say this to quote my boy CJ Wilson. And I would love to say credit for it. Maybe if I ever go national, I will fucking steal credit from my brother. But there's a saying that he says, and we say it in our group chat all the time because we've seen this shit. If you don't believe this is real life, Nelly is back with Ashanti.
what?
Right. Men, no matter what you do, just remember, it is always get your girl back season. No matter what you do. If you was good, you can get her back. Just may not be right now, but you can go get her back. We did that with Landon Thomas, the number one tight end in the nation. He committed to Florida State first. Decommitted, committed to Georgia, to decommit from Georgia, committed back to Florida State. If you're confident, you're handsome, you got some swag, got a little bit of sauce, you always have options. And right now, Florida State is very, very, very saucy. And the best way to get more saucy is to get more money. And you got to get your bread up. And you know what's hurting us right now is our bread. And the ACC is not fucking helping us right now. The ACC, one, just an anonymous source here. When people always like, how do you know that? But I don't, like, if you ever hear me speak extremely confident on something, it's either I know it or I know the people who are behind the scenes in it. My source, seeing the CW shit today reminded me that I forgot to tell you that I was in a meeting the other day with the CFO of FSU. And he was bitching about how horrible the ACC was at paying schools. He's like, they'll be waiting till October to get paid last year's payout. And right now, the ACC decided that I know how we'll combat the Big Ten and the SEC with all of this money that they're making out here. We're going to sign a deal with the CW. We're going to come. And what was it? And what was that? It was like at the Hills. It was this guy. Remember WB? They used to show all the shows that nobody wanted to see on networks. It was like the experimental channel. And is it One Tree Hill? Is that one of them shows? My Pilgrim friends, let me know because I didn't get a chance. We didn't get WB or the CW in Tallahassee until like I was almost out of school. It was one of the worst things ever. You would see the commercials, but you would never get it. The CW network has secured exclusive basketball rights, ace football and basketball games. Acquire the rights to these live games from Raycom. Licenses the rights from ESPN. So basically, We know people can't hear me. Oh, okay. Well, good. So to explain this in layman's terms, ESPN is a sports network. So they deal with the ACC and the shitty rankings. So it allowed Raycom Sports to pay for the opportunity for this, which doesn't want to deal with the shitty rankings. So they paid they allowed the CW to pay them to be able to take over the rights for these games. We are being passed off like a $2 hooker in the DR. And this is what people want me to believe is like the best. Like, what? Get me the fuck out of the ACC. Because nothing about that is innovative. But everything about this is innovative. And I'm going to give kudos to Battle's End. Battle's End is FSU's organized NIL collective. They have united with other collectives from national powerhouses, and they're creating their own collective association. Basically, with this, there'll probably be rules and different things that they can go into this. And the announcement is correct. Georgia, Tennessee, one of the Georgia, Tennessee, Ole Miss, USC, Michigan, and Penn State are all a part of this collective. Oh, my bad. It's called the Collective Association. The TCA is an advocate for student athletes to share best practices and act as a unified voice to shape the development of the NIL market and beyond. Outline is in the development of a revenue sharing model for college athletes that does not require athletes to become university employees. It appears that the desired goal of the TCA is to eventually create uniformity among state laws throughout the NIL landscape. Ingram Smith, I can speak for everyone associated when I say we are very excited to partner with other leading national collectives in the formation of the Trade Association. We look forward with other leading players in this space to do right by student athletes while also providing protections in college athletics that we are also passionate about. There's more to be said. You can go to 247sports.com. Brandon Sinone has an article that's written about that. Um, pretty good article in depth about what this means. But as a guy who can speak intelligently on this, because I was a part of an NIL group, and we actually were trying to partner with others. What this does now is it gives them the ability to go and have a better opportunity to go to your bigger brands and create more money. So that now you go to Uber, you can say Uber, you're not just signing a deal with Jordan Travis. You're signing a deal with Georgia, Tennessee, Penn State, Ohio State, Florida State, and whoever else Ole Miss and USC. You're signing a deal with 7 teams in 7 different markets that are going. The collective will pick the best available person. You pay us $1 million, we evenly distribute $1 million across all of our entities, and we disperse the money. You get more bang for your buck going to the collective than individually going and seeking out the student athlete. With that, man, that's a simple way to put it. It's also other things. There's other things that get involved with it, but you all learn that as we move into this sort of college football, where there will eventually be 2 conferences. The playoffs will matter more than anything else. Making the playoffs will matter more than winning your conference. It's going to look more like the NFL. You can hate it, you can try to fight it, or you can adapt. You adapt or die, and that's what so the ACC is not adapting; they're about to die. Everybody else is making moves. Kudos to Ingram and Battles for that. I appreciate you. Y'all doing your damn thing. Still cutting it out.
I just went to the other mic. It's not as good sound, but it was cutting it out. Maybe
Okay.
you might be right about They can hear you. You're fine.
Okay. All right. So we got that talking about, but another thing is you'll learn best practices in general on what to do. University of Georgia is well, really it's about protecting the brand. Like Under Armour, we must protect this house. Protect the brand. NFL, protect the shield. Everything. Protect it, protect it, protect it, protect it. Nobody is proving that they're more worried about winning than anything else than the University of Georgia. University of Georgia is out. This motherfucker got kid. Obviously, they don't care about speed limits. They're getting them these chargers. They're driving fast. They're doing everything. People dying, raping women. Like got recruits doing all kinds of shit. And you know who's loving the attention and the breaking the news? The Atlanta Journal Constitution. They're the ones who broke the what's his name? The player who just got drafted by the he got drafted by the Eagles. The D tackle was one of the top picks, supposed to be one of the top picks. That he was involved in the teammate that died. Like they were racing cars and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And they dropped it the day of the combine, like day of his. He was supposed to meet 8 a.m. with the press at the combine. They dropped it like at 7:30. That a warrant was out. But you know what? And they kept doing it. Then they keep dropping stuff, keep dropping stuff. And unlike a lot of people would be like, man, maybe we have a little bit of an issue. Florida State didn't even do this. Florida State just bent over and took it when they were dealing with the James Winston stuff. Then I get it. You know, the allegations were strong there. Over his fucking program? No, sir. Scott would be proud. Strip Club Scott would be proud of this. The University of Georgia has sent a demand for retraction letter regarding coverage from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. The 9-page letter specifically asks for the story titled UGA football program rallies when players accused of abusing women to be removed. Basically saying what you're not going to do is keep talking about us reckless. Like they have said incidents, reckless driving, lack of accountability, sexual assault. They demand that the retraction and from the article citing disagreements and inaccuracies in reporting. Mr. Judd's article is replete with errors, unsubstantiated allegations, innuendo, and possibly even fabrication. We do not write to you lightly. We are accustomed to the rough scrutiny of a robust press. And we are actually, you know what? I gotta read this different. This reads like the more you ever seen like the Civil War movies, like the stuff?
Oh,
Mr. Judd's article is replete with errors, unsubstantiated allegations, innuendo, and possibly even fabrications. We do not write to you lightly. We are accustomed to rough scrutiny of a robust press, and we appreciate the central importance in a free society. But this article stands out in its reckless disregard for the truth and its imposition of damaging narrative unsupported by the facts, sir. This should just sound like you should read it like a Foghorn Leghorn. Like, you should sound like you not you what's my guy? Not Grant. It sounds like Andrew Jackson would should be reading that shit. Like Robert E. Lee, like Robert E. Lee should be standing on top of that, reading that stuff. Like they should at the end of it. Hold on, let me see. This the athletes often remain. Oh, the guy said athletes often remain on the team despite all of this shit. The letter claimed the story identified just 2 players by name and another without naming him. They said nothing is discrepancy and skeptical. Nothing is discrepancy and skeptical of the claim. We asked Mr. Judd to provide a full list of the 11 players that meet his description. He initially responded he was away from the office without his files, but will respond when he returns to the office. After repeated follow-ups, Mr. Judd refused to provide the list. He claims AJC has a policy to not release unpublished information, although he has not provided a copy of our citation to this policy, even if such policy exists, the AJC publish this information. I just love the fact that they clapping back and fighting back. I don't know if they're wrong. I don't agree. I don't agree with raping women. I don't agree with domestic violence. But thank you, Pete. It was Jalen Seals. Um, so I can just drop this mic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but I will say the shit is funny though. Them boys went and got a time to kill type lawyers to go after the press, and I love it because I think you should be free to report whatever you want to report. But I also think the one thing that reporters aren't free is of step. That's why I love YouTube comments. I say cook. You think I'm fucking wrong, you cook the shit out of it. That means I'm gonna change it. But I think you have the right. And I think journalists are too fucking pussy to be able to take what they get back. I see it all the time. My homegirl Nina attacked one journalist who's very inconsistent at times. That man said, "Man, I'm dealing with some family issues. I can't, bitch, we all got issues. I'm wiping my grandmama ass as soon as I leave here. Like, do you know what kind of fucking issue that is? That doesn't make you immune to critique.
Like my grandmother asked.
You gotta protect the brand. And you protect the brand.
You also because the brands are expensive, it costs a lot when you
affect the brand. And yeah, I gotta skip that. When the next day skip, we're gonna go back to the future of high school sports. But go to when it's cheaper to spend more.
Okay.
Sometimes and when you're protecting the brand because you put so much in it, and this is rich people talking. I can't wait to be in this level of rich one day. I know I'm probably not. Billionaires don't like just pop up. You gotta like, I gotta like figure out a way to steal some. I gotta be like Elon Musk and the cats, like find something to buy. But Robert Kraft, um, Mr. Three Finger Bob is what we call him. Remember Bob liked to get that massage, a little extra pressure at certain points that he likes to have inserted in. But he found a problem that he was having, and he was spending money, and then he decided to solve it. The New England Patriots just paid $10 million. They paid $10 million for two 767 300 ER jets from American Airlines in 2017. The planes can fly nonstop for 12 hours, costing $20,000 to $30,000 per hour of flight time. But it saved his team millions of dollars in the long run. The NFL plays 8 or 9 away games each year, compared to the 41 to 81 in the MLB. But these trips, they have to basically take everybody. You have to take the 55 active roster guys. You have to take staff. You have to fly families. You have to do a whole bunch of stuff. And what happens is you have to coordinate a lot of different travels and logistics, hotel stays, a whole bunch of different things. And what happened is, and then also the meals and all kinds of other shit. The budget that most teams have is about $4 million per year on the NFL and travel expenses. What happens though is that a lot of these NFL cities are like when you charter a jet, you go to that place and that's all you can do with that jet. And it's a large jet. So these airlines are losing tons of money in what they can actually charge per seat by allowing somebody to charter the entire jet. And they can't fly anymore during that time because that jet has to stay. It has to be ready to be able to go. And that's why a lot of a lot of airlines aren't working with NFL teams anymore because of the idle time. Like, here's an example. The New Orleans Saints have a game against the Carolina Panthers in Charlotte. New Orleans doesn't have an airline hub. Like nobody, that's not, and what a hub means is like Atlanta is a Delta hub. Delta is used to flying all of their flights out there. American, who I fly constantly, has Charlotte, basically anywhere in the Carolinas, Miami, Chicago, Philadelphia, are their hubs, but they also service KC and a lot of other places. So so they had United Airlines. A United Airlines company has to fly an empty plane from Houston to New Orleans to pick up the team. The plane then flies to Charlotte, sits the ground for 33 hours, flies the team back to New Orleans, and then proceeds to fly empty to New York for its next flight. United is only paid for 3 hours of flight time, even though the plane is used for 44 hours. They've jacked up the prices for charter flights, or they stopped chartering flights altogether. American has dropped everybody except for Carolina, Dallas, and Philly. Those are all major hubs for American Airlines. So Robert Kraft and NFL teams are now just buying these jets, paying the fees for storage, and doing everything else, and they're fully customizing it. Because the other side of it is football players are incredibly large human beings. I actually, this is my therapy. I used to think I was a normal size human because for most of my life I was around abnormally large beings. And me and another former NFL player, Richard Collier. Well, I gotta go. I want to interview him. He's actually what's wild is I've known Richard, known of Richard for years. We hung out a lot when I got cut and moved to Jacksonville. He was with the Jaguars. He unfortunately had his career cut short because he was shot. His wife, some years later, was my son's second grade teacher. Miss Collier is amazing. We were just talking about how we feel small, but we're really, really big. And that's just the thing. But like, imagine like I fly for, and then I also saw Reggie Wayne made a post about what do you do with your girl if you got a first class ticket and she has a coach ticket. Like, do y'all go on the flight? You couldn't get her upgraded. Like, what do you do? I'm flying first class. Here's the reason why.
I hate flying coach. And I'm not as tall as Reggie Wayne or Richard. I'm still tall enough. And those seats are uncomfortable. And people are like, well, you should just make enough money if you can't both fly first class. Man, fuck that. We're both going to the same place. I just want my leg. That's all. That's all. It's not because I need all the other comforts. I just don't want to be uncomfortable. And if you're an independent, single, independent woman that don't need no man shit, you should be able to afford first class yourself, right? Far be it from me to prevent a woman from living her best life and showing me she. But that being said, you gotta remember large humans, large mammals need that stuff. So they buy these planes, customize it so that they don't have to worry about who's got first class and who doesn't. All the big mammals. Now, ending with this, even though there's a couple other things that I wanted, but something real interesting is happening in college, in high school. I'm not a fan of 7-on-7, but 7-on-7 has again ignited capitalism. A lot of y'all really like seeing underage boys in tights, sweating and glistening with little helmets on their head, rubbing up on each other and beating up on each other. It's not real football. And a lot of people are getting paid except for the student athlete. And it feels like it's trending toward AAU basketball. Now, I just found out about this league, and I can't remember the name of it. I'm trying to find it. But I heard about it through how I hear about everything with TikTok. That was what I wanted to talk about. I heard about it through TikTok. And then there is a basketball league called the Overtime. Yeah, okay, listen. I kind of couldn't find. Overtime Elite. And Overtime Elite is a league that you can join that I want to make sure I get that. It's got 1, 2, 3, it's got 6 teams on it. And you can play on this league, and not instead of high school or instead of going to college, and you can still go to college. It's a social media league that was built up. 2019 was an enlightening year for overtime where our eyes were open to the system made, blah, blah, blah. They focus on player development, education, athletics, trying to find the stuff on it. Because basically what it did was it opened up an alternative league to high school. And here's where it became real for me. The New York Knicks had this kid named Jalen Martin. And he was playing the summer league, and he hit a layup that wins the game for the Knicks in overtime. And my friend put that high. And I'm like, oh, hey, Florida, high school. I didn't know he had an NBA. He says, I believe the year at Florida High West State.
It was supposed to be his senior year, but he left to play for overtime elite. So he left high school to go play for overtime elite, where you could more than likely get paid and you get NIL money. And the thing that I saw on TikTok the day before, which is weird, how this happened, and they were talking about how they've sent like I think 6 or 7 players to the NBA over the last couple of years. It's an alternative to the NBA. Well, what happened is this: is now in high school, there's a thing called this new league, and it started by the former USFL president, where they're going to do a spring league that goes from April through the end of May, and it's a lot of formalities in it. But the thing is, Brian Woods, the tweet. It came out last month. President Brian Woods is launching a spring league for type high school football talent in 2024. Teams will be in Atlanta, Cleveland, Dallas, Houston, New Jersey, New Orleans, LA, Miami, Phoenix, San Diego, San Francisco, and Tampa. And so big cities that typically have really, really good talent. So, because that's really where you're going to have to get a majority of your guys. Like, you're not going to have, it's like even IMG Academy, the model just didn't work. Partially because there's not enough schools like IMG Academy for it to work. But if you set up the league, people will probably bring their kids there, and you can homeschool in a lot of these states. Online learning in a lot of these states. So they're going to try to, the league will recruit 4 and 5-star talent to play in this first season in the spring of 24. Prospects will play an 11-on-11 format over 6 weeks. They'll follow college rules and discuss coaching positions with former FBS and NFL head coaches. The policy will have less restrictive NIL policies, allowing athletes to profit from publicity rights. We're setting up teams in talent-rich markets around the country. These teams will be independent of state associations. We're very strategic about where we want to be, and we know that there's a handful of markets that year in and year out produce overwhelming number of players that are Division I rosters, that are on rosters in NFLs on opening day. Eventually, he'll command a TV contract. He plans to launch Prep Super Football League this fall. They're looking at different leagues to be able to partner with and stuff like that. But the biggest thing is, much like 7-on-7, the kids will pay a fee to be able to participate, but they also have the opportunity to get paid NIL deals, which will also probably cover a lot of what those rates are. Now, Florida, Georgia, and Texas prohibit athletes from striking NIL deals while they still play high school sports. So that's one thing that messes them up. Many top prospects shared with them last week that have tried to offer partnerships to states where name, image, likeness. Like if the athlete were to strike a relationship with a major brand during their time with PSL, it could put their amateur status in limbo if their state prohibits NIL. They're trying to be supplemental and complementary to high school football. Here's the biggest problem. Either kids are going to play that or they're going to play high school. Because state of Florida, Georgia, for the most part, everybody has spring football. Their league will literally be during the time we have spring ball. It's going to be from April 19th to May 24th. That really just throws everything off. And, a lot of it just you have to ask yourself, is it that, like, how much do you really want to play against top talent? And also, the thing that IMG didn't do as well as what people thought would do is the fact that you're going to go and get banged up in high school. Like, I do believe that eventually football, sports in general in America, will become the haves and the have-nots if more people don't get involved. I don't want it. Every sport doesn't need to be like an academy type model, but that's really what it's coming down to. Is and very and it's not going to lead the have the best people get an opportunity. But that being said, I just don't see right now this being as viable. But I do think they need to restrict. They need to lessen up the NIL deal, the NIL for high schools, and I think this is where the most organized high school teams will, in order to keep your top talent, your ass better be in front of shit. So on that note, man, it's the weekend. Only a few more weeks of summer left. College football is around the corner. Please make sure you like this. If you haven't already, please share this on your social medias. Please subscribe. Consider being a member. Shout out to Brian for gifting 5 memberships today. MFTK36, MFTK Foundation, on Venmo, MFTK Foundation at gmail.com. If you want to donate a book bag to the book bag drive, check you. I see you guys all Labor Day. If you're an FSU fan, if not, we're going to be giving away Jaguar stuff. Like, I'm telling you, this fall is going to be where it's at. If you need a fantasy football league, we will have a fantasy football league that will be doing payouts. We'll be doing college football pick'em with weekly giveaways, as well as an end of the year total. And outside of that, I appreciate you guys for just chopping it up with me for a little bit. We need to get a new microphone, so I need y'all to get my subs up anyway. And we'll see you guys next week.